I'm Kathleen Choi. Welcome to Asian Voices. On this week's show, we'll get our laughs on with a hilarious Asian comedy group formed in Los Angeles that is creating their own voice through their humorous look at life. Then we'll meet one of the most inspiring women in the world who, despite her physical handicap, is a pilot, scuba diver, martial artist, and much more. And later, we visit a Tahitian cultural organization who shows their passion for their traditional dance. These stories and more coming up next on your Southern California source for Asian and Pacific Islander culture, arts, lifestyle, and entertainment. Actress Kiki Yeung became frustrated with the typecasting of Asian roles she was offered for film and TV, so she decided to do something about it. She found a way to have her own voice heard by audiences instead of a writer telling her what to say. Kiki turned to stand-up comedy and soon formed Crazy Woke Asians in Los Angeles, along with a group of other talented Asian American comedians to have a platform through comedy to raise awareness about issues that Asian Americans often experience. From family to dating and even racism, no subject is ever too taboo for these comics representing many Asian cultures.
Comedy show, yes. Crazy woke Asians. You already know. All we got is love. Yeah, you already know. Hey. If anyone trying to hate, man, then you gotta go. Yeah, I'm dope with the flow. I don't just follow the dough. Nope. We follow our passion. You see in the show. Yep. There ain't no shame, man. I was fresh off the boat, but Cali's my home now. I'm fresh off the coast, baby. Hey.
Yeah, I'm from Hong Kong, and I didn't come here till I was 15. So English was my second language, And I'm proud of that too, so a lot of my comedy is about that. And my mom, the crazy thing she says to me, and that now I'm a mom and I'm trying not to get too crazy on my kid.
And then, I had the baby, so, I can't hold piss now. My bladder is loose. That's the problem you get when you become a mom, right? You guys moms over there? Well, that's what you got to look forward to, okay? Just think twice when you have sex. Seriously.
I just always loved comedy, and I always thought, I'm not funny enough. I've been doing theater for like 20 years and acting on film and commercials, and I was always like the token Asian. Even, in the comedy shows, I'm like the one Asian, and I'm a woman, so people always look at me like, you're not funny. So, they don't say that to my face, because I'm so smiley, but I could feel, I always feel like I was the outsider. So I was like, you know what, it's time. We need to start a movement, and I was like, I'm crazy. Crazy is not a bad thing, crazy can be fun.
I woke up like this.
It's like, I'm gonna try the stand-up thing. I took a class, and it was really just to make me start writing. And then once I started writing that way, and I was like, I could be funny sometimes, and then I just kept at it. And you bomb sometimes, and you go to all the open mics, and then you're like, oh, okay, and you're the only Asian there, but it's fine. Nobody's talking to you, nobody's looking at you when you're on stage, for 5 minutes, and they're on their phones, no one's laughing. It's like, okay, that's fine, I can do this. The more that happened, the more like, I'm gonna do this. And then when I started meeting and seeing all these Asian comedians, I was like, wow, I should just put on a show, with all of us, because I used to produce theater in San Diego and Seattle, so this is easy. It's a no-brainer. All the comedians just gotta know their sets and be funny, and there's no rehearsals, and I always like to produce stuff and give platform to other people.
Oh man, I can't complain though, man. Life is good. I'm 6 feet tall, man. That's good. I can't imagine myself being short, man. I have a friend who's 5'4", and he has like the hardest time talking to women. And it's so sad because they just can't hear him all the way down there. They just can't hear him. Sometimes when we talk to girls, man, they're like, I'm sorry, what'd your son say? I'm like, nah, man, he ain't my son. I'm sorry, hold on real quick. Hey, man, they want to know what you were saying. I'll let them know, all right?
I got involved in comedy. I always felt like I was a natural at it. I was voted like funniest person in my high school. I was always known as the class clown. I would get in trouble a lot. And then, I don't know, one day, I just decided why not try it, and here I am now. And then I met Kiki. I kind of, where did we? I think I just hit her up about this because I was really interested in, like, you know, it's rare to see a lot of like Asian comedians come together and doing comedy. So I saw the group and I was like, yeah, I might as well try it. And it's a beautiful group of people, and I love it.
I used to dress up for shows, but the last time I dressed up, this guy came up to me and he was like, hey, sweetheart, you look really nice in that dress. I was like, dude, this is the Me Too era. Don't objectify me like that. Right? He was like, oh, look, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. It's just that we've been married for 15 years, so I just want to give you a compliment.
Kiki is one of the hardest working women in just person in general. She's like the Beyonce of comedy, right? So when she messaged me, I was like, hell yeah, whatever you need. She's like, she would ask me, do you want to do this? You want to do that? Like being considerate of my feelings. I'm just like, listen, whatever you need, I'm gonna do, because I'd like to continue working with her, and she found me, so I'm very, very fortunate now.
And then someone goes to me, you can find time to work out. I was like, oh, well, I can barely find time to sleep. And she's like, oh my gosh, you don't sleep when he sleeps? I'm like, oh, should I also work out when he works out?
We are gonna have a solo festival in May at the Santa Monica Playhouse, and we're seeking submissions for Asian American comedians, artists, actors, performers for their shows. Yeah, and just follow us, then you get the updates.
We are Crazy Woke Asians, and this is our voice. That sounded all over the place.
Let's try one more time.